My son is currently 16 months old, and we've been reading books to him since he was a tiny newborn. He loves books, so in this video I'll share his top 10 from this month. Reading books is a great way to expose our kids to a vast variety of vocabulary and concepts at a really early age. Books have words in them that we might not otherwise use in our day-to-day lives. When you're reading books to your kids, it's really nice to be able to zoom out and see the big picture. What are the goals that you have for your kids? What kind of skills do you want them to learn? What kind of concepts do you want to dig into and explore with them? Hey, I'm Adrienne from learnwithadrienne.com, and you want to help your child communicate clearly, listen well, and gain life skills for their future. As a speech-language pathologist and a mama, I know that communication connects us, and you and I both want our kids to connect with us and with others through talking. So now let's talk about the 10 books that are my 16-month-old's favorite this month. I wanted to start with this book. This is really cool. It's like 9 board books in one box, and it comes like this in a box. We're missing one of them because it's my son's favorite because it has a bus on it, and he loves to like carry it around everywhere. So I think it's in his room with him right now while he's napping. So these board books come out, and they're really like chunky and thick, and they're almost like blocks. So you could play with these and stack them up and knock them down. We do that sometimes, but they're a great size for their little fingers. You can see how thick the pages are. I'll compare it to another board book like Little Blue Truck here. So you can see the thickness of this page compared to the thickness of this page here. I'd say it's about 4 times as thick as regular thick board books. So this one's called My First 100 Words. So within these books are 100 pictures and 100 words. So there's 9 categories: at home, food, outside, play group, getting dressed, my room, fun time, animals, and people. These books are cool because you can stack them like blocks and then knock them down and play with them. So you're engaging with books in a way that's fun and playful. And if your child doesn't love to sit and listen to you read books, this might be a great option for you because it's really interactive. You can play with the books. You don't necessarily have to sit down and read through them. Also, once he's a little bit older, I think that he'll enjoy matching the book to the specific slot that it goes into here. And it teaches categories too. So the categories of food, the categories of people, the category of animals. I like also that the pictures are really simple. You can see dinosaur, sheep, fish, and duck, and it also includes the word so that they're getting some early literacy exposure. So they're seeing words on the page along with the picture. I think that's a really great feature of these books, and I just think they're really fun. And also, once all the books are out of here, these little compartments fit a lot of his smaller toys. Like we have some play food toys, and so you can put different things in here, and it's just like nice fine motor practice, pulling things out, putting things in, dropping things. And this box is really sturdy and it has a magnetic closure. So I think this is really fun and we've enjoyed it so far. There's other categories of this same type of book. I think they have one about just animals and different types of this same book. So if you don't want the 100 first words but you want something else, then they have different options. And so far they've been really durable. We've had these for about 2 months now, and the binding, I thought that it might rip pretty easily, but it seems very strong, and he's playing with these and stacking them up and knocking them down, and they've held up really well. So yeah, fun little set of books. A resource that pairs really nicely with reading books is this free resource guide bundle that I made for you on my website. You'll be able to print out how kids learn to talk, speech therapy strategy icons, the norms and milestones for the number of words that typically developing children say from 12 to 36 months old, my blueprint for boosting language skills, communication milestone checklists from birth to 5 years old, and steps to take if you notice your child is behind on milestones. These are all free on my website, my gift to you. I'll put the link in the description below this video so you can click on it and go straight to this free printable bundle and download it to print it out for yourself. And if you're ever looking for more guidance to help your child learn to talk, you're always invited to check out my online class where I teach the exact steps that I use in my speech therapy sessions to get children from saying very few words to talking in sentences and having conversations with you. That's all on my website at learnwithadrienne.com. This series of books is something that he's just now this month started to really be able to interact with. Before we would just kind of flip through the pages, but he's learned how to poke these dots. So this is called Poke a Dot, an alphabet I spy. So basically there's these little plastic dots here, and you can push them and poke these dots. It kind of reminds me of bubble wrap, which is really fun. And so sometimes I'll be sitting with him and he'll poke it, and then I'll poke behind it and he'll just press the same one over and over. So we'll just go like this over and over, and he loves it. But now I've noticed that when he is near this book, he'll open it up himself and he'll start like poking and finding all of the circles to poke. Beyond that, it's really cool because it has, my name is Alice and I'm looking for an apple. So this page is A, and so you can scan and look for apples. So this is good for visual scanning. There's a lot of pictures on this page, so I have a feeling that once he's a little bit older, he'll be able to really scan and zoom in and find the duck, because right now it's kind of overwhelming. If your child's a little bit on the younger side and you're looking for different pictures, like maybe you say, ooh, I'm looking at the duck, do you see the duck? I would recommend narrowing their visual field by kind of blocking out one of the pages so that it just narrows in, and maybe even more like this with your hand. Do you see the duck? So then they just have to scan less items in order to find it, because this is kind of overwhelming for a really young child. So as they get older, they'll be able to scan visually quickly, but that is just a tip that I use in speech therapy to help narrow the visual field for them so that they have more chance of being successful and seeing what you're looking at. This is also part of a series of the polka dot books where they have, I think, farm animal one, dinosaurs, maybe underwater animals like under the sea. So these are really fun, and if your child has a specific interest that they're really motivated in, you might have an option of book that focuses on that. These next two have been favorites for several months now, so I had to include them. These books both rhyme. They're both really fun to read. I enjoy reading them. I think I've memorized both of them by now because we've read them so much. But Little Blue Truck is really, really cute book. It's a story about a truck that is friendly to all the animals around, and then this big dump truck that's in such a rush and doesn't have time to stop and like beep at the animals, and then the dump truck gets stuck in the mud, and the little blue truck comes to help, and then all the animals help the little blue truck push the dump truck out of the mud. And so it's just a sweet little story. The rhyming is really fun and it flows nicely. I find that some rhyming books have just too many words on each page and he's ready to flip to the next page, but this one is paced out really nicely. Like there's just this many words on this page, this many words. So as he's wanting to flip to the next page, I'm able to finish reading before he flips to the next page. It's got great animal sounds in it, and then beep, beep, honk, honk. There's a lot of variety in the illustrations, so you can talk about the rain that's coming down. You can talk about the trees that you see, all the animals. You can point out the wheels. So there's great opportunity for repetition in this book. Even if you didn't want to read the rhymes, you could just say wheel, 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 and do that on every page. Wheel. Repetition is something I talk about in one of my other YouTube videos. I recommend that you check that out after this video. I'm going to put this video in a playlist of videos here on YouTube where you can just watch Reading to Toddlers, and you can click on all the videos in that playlist that are in the same category, so you can get all the strategies that I tend to use in speech therapy sessions, and then strategies and things that I use with my son to be proactive about communication. Llama Llama Red Pajama. The title even rhymes. It's really cute, easy to read, flows really nicely, and it's about a llama, little baby llama, who misses his mama when it's time for bed, and so it's kind of just a sweet, sweet story that's pretty relatable to kids when they miss their mama. So love this one. This one's a unique book. I like it because it has wheels on it, and so it's like a toy and a book all in one. There's 4 wheels, so it can stand up on the floor. But it's baby's very first bus book, and it's really cute. There's a lion that's driving this bus, and people or different animals get on the bus as you go throughout. I think this is really cute. I do find that the visuals are a little bit busy. Like it's hard for me just as an adult looking at this to find the animals within this page because it seems like they don't really stand out from the background. So that's the only thing about this book that maybe as he gets older, it'll be easier to just pick out the different animals, but I find that the illustrations are really cute, but it's also pretty busy, so that's just something to keep in mind. But really cute. It's got wheels. I haven't seen a book like that before, so we love that. This book's also part of a series where there's other options besides bus. I think there's one with a truck, one with an ambulance. So really fun if your child is into vehicles. There are 2 school buses that go right in front of our house in the mornings when school's in session. We love to run to the window and wave to the bus and wave bye-bye to the kids. So this book is one that we got at the library. It's called School Bus by Donald Cruz, and it's very simple but very sweet. I love reading this because of the simplicity. The words are very minimal, and so he really focuses on the pictures. So this one's a really cute book. It's a small size. He loves this one. We're just starting to get into the age where he can interact with books that have flaps on them without tearing them. He still sometimes will pull a flap down and want to kind of bend it or pull on it. So we're almost to the stage where I think he might not rip this type of book, but this one is awesome. It's called Lift the Flap Seasons and Weather. So it's got spring, summer, winter, and fall, and each season has its own page. This is kind of an intro page, but we've got spring in the country. So you've got little bunnies that are behind this flap, and flowers, daffodils, and primroses. And it's cool because at the bottom you can match up the pictures. So you can look, it's kind of like a seek and find. So you see, oh, there's primroses. Let's find the primroses. Here they are. And you can talk about how they match. And then you can look for the baby bunnies. There they are. So sweet, sweet illustrations. I like this one a lot because it seems like the illustrations really stand out from the page, and it's easy to see like the bird in the sky. It stands out more, in my opinion, than that bus book where all the visuals seemed so close together. So this one, it's more spaced out, and it feels like your eyes have room to breathe. This next one is called That's Not My Lion, and it's a touch and feel book. So there's a sensory component to it that my son really enjoys. So it's That's Not My Lion. His nose is too fuzzy. That's not my lion. His ears are too soft. So they're learning concepts like fuzzy, soft, rough. That's not my lion. His paws are too rough. This one is his favorite page because it's Velcro. He always wants to flip to this page and just experience these little Velcro paws. It's like the hook side of Velcro. And yeah, that's his favorite page by far. That's not my lion. Its tail is too fluffy. And then we like to roar on this page. Roar. Sweet book. All right, last 2 books. This one is the Itsy Bitsy Spider. This one is 5 nursery rhymes that are familiar, and your child can touch and trace on every page. There's shapes. And so the Itsy Bitsy Spider, I don't know if you can tell, but this part right here, these are little cutouts. So you can feel, I'm trying to see if the light will shine on it. So you can feel the direction that the rain goes. And this is the American Sign Language sign for rain. And so what we do is we do rain, 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 and we, I sing this song to him. And now if this book is across the room and we're playing, I can say, do you see the Itsy Bitsy Spider book? And he'll look around and he'll find it and he'll crawl over it. He'll open to this page and he'll go, rain, rain, rain. So I also teach an American Sign Language class online where you learn 300 of the most commonly used sign language words in 1 month. So it's just 1 video per day, and you learn several signs each day, and then at the end of the month, 300 of the most commonly used words. You can find that class on my website, learnwithadrienne.com. It's got this traceable shape here, like a spiral for the teddy bear song. And then 6 little ducks. It's got little squiggly lines here. 2 little bluebirds. It's got little arc shapes. And then this little piggy, and it's got little footprints here that you can trace on. And then each page has a little hole in it, and so he likes to poke his fingers in here. It's like just the right size for his fingers to go in and not get stuck. The last one is this See, Touch, and Feel book. It's a sensory book here, where each page has pictures with little raised parts that are kind of shiny. This part is like a honeycomb that's bumpy. This book I really like because it has a lot of verbs in it, and a lot of times when kids have their first 50 words, they're learning a lot of nouns. Ball, mama, dada, milk, all the animals. And one thing when parents are wondering, like, how do they start talking in sentences? It's when you add a verb to it. So verbs are really important words to learn. So I like how this one has a verb on each page that is unique. So explore the colorful paint splotches. Touch your finger to the raindrop. Touch your hand to the big hand. Feel. Make some noise. Run your fingertips across the xylophone. This page is cool because each of the xylophone colors has bumps on it that are spaced out differently, so it actually goes up in pitch as you run your finger across. That was pretty cool. Hear the drum go. Tap the drum. Play with shapes. Feel each colorful shape. Stroke the bear's fluffy tummy, and this page has a little soft fabric there. And then look at the happy baby. Can you see another baby? And then this last page has a mirror, which he always leans in and kisses himself in the mirror. So another sweet book. It's big and sturdy, and I like that about books that are really well made. If you're wanting that complete list of his 10 favorite books this month, then I will include all of the links to those books in the blog posts that I'll put in the description of this video. So you can click there, and then all the books will have direct links to where they're sold online, whether it's Amazon or another bookstore online, and you can click those. Or if you want to jot down the titles, then you can see if your local library has those books too. And this video is part of a longer playlist here on my YouTube channel where I share lots of videos about tips for reading to toddlers, especially if your toddler doesn't seem to enjoy books right now or doesn't seem to want to sit and listen to you read. So I recommend checking that playlist out. I'll put the link in the description of this video. Let me know in the comments of this video, how old is your child and what's his or her favorite book right now? I'm always looking for new books to read with my son. So zooming out, why is reading books to babies and toddlers so important, both now and in the future? Because our kids today will become the leaders tomorrow, and communication skills are highly valued in our world. My long-term vision is to give my son and your children a strong foundation of vocabulary so they can navigate conversations more and more independently as they grow up, so they're prepared for any situation with family, friends, teachers, classmates, co-workers, employers, and on and on. Don't forget to grab this free download at the link in the description of my video if you want to help your child learn to communicate clearly. And as a pediatric speech-language pathologist and a mama myself, I just want to leave you with this encouragement. You know your child best, so if you do have concerns that your child seems to be falling behind on language milestones based on the norms that I share in my free printables, and if you're looking for more guidance to help your child learn to talk, you're always invited to check out my online class where I teach the exact steps that I use in my speech therapy sessions to get children from saying very few words or no words at all to talking in sentences and having conversations back and forth with you. What we learn changes what we do, and books teach our kids something new. Thanks for subscribing, and remember to grab this free download at the link in the description, and I'll see you in the next video.